me. Dell. Rodney stood up, pacing the room, his intellectual gears finally clicking into place. You're a bankrupt. You owe the taxman 48 grand, right? Right. But last week, you made a legally documented, publicly verified donation of £50,000 to a registered charity. Don't remind me. Dell, in the eyes of the law, charitable donations are tax deductible. If you make a donation through gift aid, or if it's treated as a personal charitable contribution, it offsets your taxable income for the year. Dell stared at him, his brow furrowing. But I don't have an income. I'm bankrupt. I owe them debt from previous years. Rodney grabbed a piece of paper and began scribbling frantically. Yes, but the BBC paid you the 50 grand as income from a game show. Technically, for about 5 minutes. You earned £50,000, which the taxman would have immediately seized to pay off your £48,000 debt. Exactly, Dell sighed. So I would have been left with £2,000. But Rodney shouted, slamming his hand on the table, because you donated the entire 50 grand directly to charity before the taxman could seize it. You generated a massive tax relief credit under specific insolvency clauses, a monumental philanthropic act that reduces your current year's tax burden to zero, can be backdated to offset existing arrears, provided the donation equals or exceeds the total debt owed. Dell slowly swung his legs off the sofa. Speak English, Rodney. Are you telling me what I think you're telling me? Rodney looked up, a manic, disbelieving grin on his face. Dell, you gave away 50 grand, but in doing so, you wiped out the 48 grand debt. You don't owe the Inland Revenue a penny anymore. Your bankruptcy conditions can be discharged. The silence in the room was deafening. Dell walked over to the table, staring at Rodney's scribbled math as if it were the Rosetta Stone. You mean to tell me, Dell whispered, that by accidentally giving away a fortune because I thought Mickey Pierce was winding me up, I actually saved us from ruin? It's a loophole. Rodney laughed, the relief washing over him like a warm shower. A massive, ridiculous, 1 in a million loophole. But yes, the debt is cleared. Trotter's Independent Traders is free and clear. Dell threw his head back and let out a roar of laughter that shook the windows of Nelson Mandela House. He grabbed Rodney and hugged him, lifting his lanky brother off the ground. You beautiful GCE holding genius, Dell cheered. I knew it. I knew making you managing director was the smartest thing I ever did. Technically, it was a clerical error by the BBC that set it up, but I found the law. Rodney grinned. We're back in business. Rotters, call Raquel. Tell her to pack her bags. She's coming home. Call Cassandra. Tell her we're celebrating down the Nag's Head tonight. Dell picked up his £1 coin from the floor, kissed it, and put it in his pocket. He who dares wins, Rodney. Even when he loses, he wins. Chapter 11, the biographer returns. The celebration at the Nag's Head was legendary. Dell, riding high on the revelation that he was no longer a hunted man by Her Majesty's government, bought drinks for the entire pub on Cassandra's credit card, which she reluctantly allowed just this once. Even Mickey Pierce, who had inadvertently caused the entire charitable donation disaster, was forgiven, mostly because Dell enjoyed lording his new philanthropic hero status over the younger man. The next morning, the hangover in the Trotter flat was of biblical proportions. Dell was nursing a cup of black coffee when the telephone rang. Rodney, groaning, picked it up. Trotter's Independent Traders. Managing Director speaking. Please don't shout. Ah, Rodney, it's Justin. The smooth, cultured voice of the biographer echoed down the line. I hope I'm not disturbing you? Rodney sat up. Justin, no, not at all. What can we do for you? Dell perked up, waving his hands to signal Rodney to put the phone on speaker. Well, gentlemen, Justin continued, his voice crackling slightly through the cheap plastic speaker. I must say, I have been following the news regarding Derek's exceptional generosity. Ah, yes, Dell leaned into the phone, adopting his most humble tone. Just doing my bit for the community. Justin, the money's not important. It's the smiles on the little children's faces that count. Quite, Justin said, though he sounded slightly amused. The thing is, Derek, your story has caught fire. The public is fascinated by you. The man who had millions, lost it all, won a fortune back on television, and immediately gave it away to orphans. It's Dickensian. It's poetic. It's true, Dell agreed solemnly. I pitched the angle to my publishers, Justin revealed, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper, and they are absolutely desperate to secure the rights to your official biography. They see it as a bestseller. The Peckham Phoenix, The Rise, Fall, and Redemption of Derek Trotter. Dell looked at Rodney, his eyes wide. A book. About me? About both of you. Justin corrected. The Trotter brothers. The unbreakable bond that survived wealth and poverty. How much? Rodney asked, his managing director instincts kicking in before Dell could say something stupid. The publishers are willing to offer a substantial advance, Justin said. Given the current media hype, they are prepared to offer you £50,000 for the exclusive rights. The number hung in the air. £50,000. The exact amount Dell had lost. The exact amount he had given away. It was as if the universe was playing a massive, intricate game of financial ping-pong with their lives. Dell's hand trembled slightly as he reached out and muted the phone. He looked at his brother. 50 grand, Dell whispered. Rotters, we're getting it back. Don't sound too eager, Rodney whispered back, his heart hammering. Let me handle this. I'm the MD. Rodney unmuted the phone, clearing his throat and trying to sound like a man who dealt with 50 grand contracts before breakfast.